Good evening. I'm Carolyn Endersby, and we're convening a forum on economic security. How should we take charge of our future? We've invited the citizens here to come together to talk about the question, how can we best take charge of the future so families can feel reasonably secure, parents can help their children prosper, and everyone can move forward toward a financially stable retirement. For being here this evening. I'm the chair of the steering committee for the Nevada Center for Public Policy Dialogue. My role is to just be there to help the 20-some members of the steering committee to help the community better talk about what the issues are. The steering committee are all volunteers. It is made up of community members, and many of them I'm sure you know. I want to introduce some of them that are here this evening and make sure you know and appreciate their efforts in bringing this to all of us this evening. And we have Antoinette Rabb, and she's with Hope Counseling, and Wendy Serber is also with the Women's Initiative. Lorraine Murray is steering committee and on many community groups, League of Women Voters, I can't name all of them. Dr. Diane Musel is a professor, is that the title, or a? Thank you. I just know she's a great asset to our center and to our communities. She is at Great Basin College. And Al Balakwe is on staff at the town, and who else do we have? I think that is Ron, Pastor Ron Fairbairn with Hope Central Valley Baptist, and Nathan Adelson, yes. So the people that sit on the steering committee have knowledge of many issues and a network to reach out. So as we go into the following year, we're going to be having more of these community conversations. So please keep an eye out for them. We try to disseminate the information as far as we can. So tell your friends when you find out about it. And we thank you for coming, because we're here to hear from you. We're not here for you to hear from us, but we did want to make sure you knew who we were. And we'll go further into what brought us here as far as the center. And I want to thank Diane with Channel 41. She came over to record the event for us so we can have it. And now we're going to just take a minute and self-introduce yourselves, if you would, please. And just if you have an organization you belong to, or your name, or your name. But Mr. Stevens, would you start, please? Name and organization.
Oh, Dave Stevens, Pahrump taxpayer and citizen, and kind of like Pahrump a little bit, but I don't know yet. I've only been here 8 years.
Eric Leach, Pahrump Valley High School.
John Mackey from Las Vegas and Oath Keepers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Ken Sandner, Pahrump.
Yep.
Ken Sandner, Pahrump.
I'm Carol Sandner from Pahrump.
Beverly Yanamura from Pahrump.
Gary Yanamura from Pahrump.
Sonny Wells, Pahrump resident.
Lana Harrison.
Jim Harrison.
We'll walk around this way. I'll have to go to TV school and learn how they do this.
You're doing good.
Just Joanne?
Joanne.
Katrine Romanoff.
Dave Richards, I'm from California, visiting with my daughter here in Pahrump.
Well, welcome.
Ray Verbeck, visiting Bill Verbeck.
Bill Verbeck, and I belong to her.
And Ron Fairbairn.
And Antoinette back there, and Dr. Diane has been introduced. So thank you all for letting us get to know you and having an opportunity to have you introduced to everyone else. And now I'll turn it over to Lorraine, and she'll give you a little more clue as to what we're going to be doing this evening.
Very short. I know we say we didn't have you come to listen to us, but then we spend a lot of time talking to you anyway. But just to kind of set a groundwork for, is this going to be too loud for you, Deanna? Okay. To set the groundwork for what's going to happen tonight. Some of your faces are familiar. I know you've been to some of our issue forums before, but several people have not. So we're just going to take a quick minute and let you know about the Nevada Public Policy Center and also what the structure is for tonight's forum so that you can better participate and know what to expect of what's happening. The Nevada Center for Public Policy Dialogue, the center. There's a picture of another forum that we had. Some of the familiar faces, they might find themselves in there. We are a place where all voices are welcome, an approach that promotes public engagement about important issues. That pretty much sums up why we're here. And thank you all for coming to participate with us in that process. We're going to do a public issue forum. A public issue forum is a way to bring citizens, experts, elected officials come together, share ideas, and discuss alternative actions towards issues that are important to us. Tonight's topic is economic security. How do we take charge of our future? Our objective in reaching economic security is to help our families feel reasonably secure, to help our parents looking towards our children to prosper, and to move everyone towards a financially stable retirement. Bill talked a little bit about some data. This discussion tonight is not about data. I'm going to give you a little bit of data to help bring us down from the national level to the state level to the local level. But this discussion tonight is not to talk about numbers. It's to talk about you. It's to talk about your values, your opinions, your feelings, your ideas. The whole purpose of a public issue forum is for your voice to be heard. People with differing opinions can listen to each other. People who feel like they haven't been heard before can express themselves and feel that they've been heard. And what's going to happen with this, and part of the reason why we have Channel 41 here helping us record this event, is that we're going to talk about us. You are going to talk individually about you, and those voices are going to come together at a regional level, and then from a regional level, it's going to go to a national level, and all of the information that's being put together is research, and all of our voices will be brought up to a level in Washington where we will have an opportunity to have people listen to what it is that we say. So the topic is not to talk about them. The topic is to talk about us so that they can hear us. But just a few numbers to start with. The unemployment number nationally, everybody pretty much knows, about 10%. In Nevada, statewide, it's about 14%. I say about with all these numbers because it fluctuates regularly. And in Nye County, it's about 16%. So there we go, top of the bad list. Home values. Nationally, it's a minus $8 trillion has been lost in home values in the last few years. Statewide, it's about $21 billion. And in Pahrump, I estimated about $28 million and lost values. So those are some of the things that are affecting our economic security, and we're going to ask you for your values, ideas, feelings, and opinions about how that effect plays out in your life. National recovery is starting out slow and choppy. Our economic basis for our state, our top industry is gaming. It's down about 6.7%. Our construction industry is also one of our major players. They've lost about 23,000 jobs. Mining is also a great contributor to our economy in Nevada, And luckily for us, it's prospering. They've added about 3,000 jobs. Who wants to be a miner? Okay, so we're going to go into a circle like we showed you in that little picture. There are a few ground rules, some housekeeping issues. One is please turn off your cell phones. 2 is we do have restroom facilities. It's an informal conversation, so whenever you want to use the facilities, they're right over here, down this hallway. There is coffee and water available, likewise. It's just a conversation. Get up, help yourself, take care of what you need to. However, one thing that we do ask is we're going to encourage everyone to speak. You came so we could hear you. Please let us hear you. In order for us to hear you, we ask that one person speaks at a time. So listen respectfully and don't interrupt. If you have an opinion that's different than someone else's, for all means, bring it up. Share whatever your personal opinion is, but we can't get it all together and get it recorded if it's all happening at once. So please do that in a respectful manner. Speak, as I said, about yourself in the first person. What's going to happen is you're going to have a person who is going to be identified as a moderator for the circle. That doesn't mean they're a leader or chairman or an expert or anything like that. It just means that that's going to be the person there to help us keep on topic and remind us of the ground rules if need be. Other than that, that's their only role. The discussion is yours. You take turns in whatever order you want. You lead it. You take it wherever it goes on the topic that we give you. Okay? There's also going to be another person who's going to be there with the event. That person's called a recorder, and that individual is going to be listening and writing down what you're saying, not verbatim or anything like that, but to capture your values, your conflicts, your common ground, places for action, things like that. All of that's a piece of our responsibility in the research as we build this voice of ours up to the national level. So you're going to see those things happening. Each piece of the problem is broken into 3 different approaches, okay? And each approach will just give you the question, and you can talk. We do have a time limit of not more than 30 minutes on each approach. And so there'll be somebody kind of keeping an eye on that. But it's a long time to talk about it, so hopefully you'll all have an opportunity to get out what it is that you want to put into this topic. So there'll be 3 different approaches. We can take a little break during then if people feel necessary to do that, but we will be keeping it on time so that we meet our commitment to you and not make you stay later than what we thought, or you thought. The forum's going to take place over here. So at this point in time, you're welcome to come over, find a seat in the circle, and we'll start talking about option number 1. You have little pieces of paper. If you need a pen, if you want to take notes or anything, we've got some of those available. As I mentioned, we are recording. If there's anyone, your names won't be associated with anything that's sent forward unless you choose to, but your image might appear on a recording at the regional or national level. If you don't want your image included, please let us know. We'll make sure you're seated so you'll be out of view of the camera. Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
We're so glad that everybody is here, and I think this is a question that each of us has an issue with, and the whole thing this evening is that you would bring up the things that concern you, your different aspects of your life, the different aspects of how this has touched you personally, and we're looking at everybody in our town, the issues that affect them, the issues that affect their family, and the issues that affect our community, and our country.